Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of A Run Through, and today I'm taking a look at Proteus. It's available on Steam in early access at $24.99, I believe. It's been in development for about 2 years or so, and just hit early access. So I will say, with that in mind, this is probably one of the most, if not the most polished early access game I've ever played. Like, it is super well put together. I've had no issues whatsoever. It is effectively Doom by way of if Doom sort of intentionally had like 8-bit graphics forever and then kind of updated it with the time. So you'll see when I get in there. I know that sounds a little weird, but it is great. You have a few options here. There is a full level editor, which I'll get to a little bit later. And then you have your campaign options, which in the editor you can make full campaigns for people. So that is why this menu is going to look a little weird, because you have to click through about like 4 times to get to the thing. I've played around 5 hours and I've done 20% of the campaign. So that gives me the impression that it is about a 20-ish hour campaign in total. I'm not 100% sure. Obviously I haven't finished it, but that's sort of the idea here. These are going to be... I want to start off with these because that's going to be a little different. But those are basically like you have challenge maps, sort of like a little run through arenas. I'm gonna go to a earlier stage here just so I can kind of show you a little bit better. This is gonna be, I think this is the one from the beta that I played a few months back. But just kind of give you a run through. I probably won't do a ton of talking, just by virtue of, it being pretty fast paced at times. But I'll sort of try and guide it as best I can. But we'll jump right in. I'll do a level. Maybe show you one of the challenge ones, and then I'll kind of dip out because I don't want to ruin or give too much away. That's sort of why I'm going back to this one, because it was from the beta. But as you can see, like what I mean with the graphics, it's like very, very much Doom inspired on all fronts. Okay, well that was that was really good. Okay, probably don't start with that gun, huh? Let's see. So you have quite a bit of weapons here. This is maybe my biggest hang up with the game so far. As you can see, you have the weapons are mixed up by ammo type. So every gun is not going to have its own ammo. So it's like based on like these are just like standard bullets, shotgun bullets, rockets, that kind of thing. There's a good variety of weapons, but like I said, they're going to all be limited to that pool. So if you run out of shots with the pistol, you run out of it with the machine guns and the minigun. So that's... I hope they change that. It's sort of by design, obviously, but it is something that is not my favorite thing. But that's okay. Each gun also has an alternative fire. The shotgun has like a constructive blast of all of them together that'll sort of set enemies on fire. But yeah, as you can see, like with even the body stuff there, that's very reminiscent of like, older Doom and older PC games of that nature. But I believe this is in the Unreal Engine. Or at least it feels very much like it is, with just sort of a very well put together pixelated cover over it. If you're noticing any kind of performance issue, stutter, anything like that, that is fully from just recording it. I have had no performance issues whatsoever. It's ran like a dream the whole time. I think actually what the issue here is I'm having is I had just recently set my NVIDIA control panel to have a limited frame rate. Let me see if that's actually what it is. I'll be right back. Hold on just a second. It's a little bit better. Okay, at any rate, I don't think it's going to affect anything too much. Actually, no, it's definitely better now. But yeah, sort of the same thing. There's going to be a bunch of secret areas, stuff like that you can find, and it'll tell you at the end of each run on the summary, like how many of those you got, how many you missed, that kind of deal. There's also getting key cards, stuff like that. It is also very, very gory, as you can tell. I would say that's maybe another little caveat there, which obviously can be adjusted at any time, but the sort of the impact of a lot of the weapons doesn't feel like as punchy as you may want it to. It's not to say it's bad by any means, but it just doesn't have that oomph, I guess. Like, because things are just like generally exploding, but some of the guns don't feel as like powerful as they're displayed, if that makes sense. Not a huge issue. Obviously, it hasn't affected like the actual game itself. It still feels super good to play, but in addition to that, the other thing. And this is by no means a fault of the game itself. I think it's just by virtue of having recently played through Doom Eternal, is that there's like a lack of things being picked up on the ground. I know that it's not like a big caveat by any means, but like Doom, and Doom, like the Doom remake and then Doom Eternal especially, is like you're getting stuff all the time. Like there's that weird endorphin rush of just picking stuff up constantly. And that's not really present here. And also, there's not like... I've noticed in the loadout section, there seems to be some kind of like items that you find that would tweak the run. I don't know if that's like once you've finished, you unlock one of them or something like that. I haven't found any of those quite yet, so I'm not super sure what those are. But overall, I mean, that hasn't affected like the enjoyment of the game by any means. It's just it's just a weird thing I noticed. Like, oh, feels like I should be getting more like upgrades or something, just because I get that game was really a sugar rush of just like upgrading every single thing consistently, and I would say actually probably too often. But having none of it, does feel a little bit weird because they're such a similar game. And again, not their fault by any means. It's just by virtue of what just happened with that game. So the other maybe sort of downside is there's no like clamber up onto stuff. Like you have to make the jump, which is old game design for sure, and that's definitely what this is trying to invoke here. It is a bit of a weird takeout, just because of what we're used to. Almost every shooter in the last like probably 5 years has had some kind of like clamber up ledges and stuff like that, so it's a bit of a weird omission. There's some jumping stuff later on where that especially you just kind of wish like if you could just grab and pull up, it would be a little bit better. But nothing again that's breaking the experience, and all that stuff could easily be added later or changed or anything like that. That one I'd say maybe one that doesn't happen, just because of some of the level stuff. It seems like it is very specifically designed to not have something like that. But again, with editing tools and stuff like that and allowing people to kind of make their own campaigns, they may easily be able to go in there and just tweak that stuff on their own for their own campaigns and whatnot, which would be cool to see, because there is a very robust editor here. I mean, it's practically everything I think they use to make the game just there. I may die here in a minute. Yeah, not the best play by any means. I'm also using I should probably just use a better gun. Yeah, that was my bad. There's a pretty good checkpoint system in here, though. I do believe you get a better score, obviously, for not dying, which is privy of most games with some kind of scoring system. I also wouldn't hate, though, too, if there was like a mode, or maybe it happens once the game is finished, but having just the option to sort of see points come up for each thing that you're doing. Obviously not necessary, but getting into like what guns to use to get the most points and all that stuff, because there is this like pseudo speedrun leaderboard sort of thing, because every level it'll show you like how fast you did it, what tokens you got, all the secrets that you found, the speed that it took to do it, and then there's also the option to look directly at the leaderboard for each level per each difficulty of the game. So something like that would be pretty welcome. I would also love a thing to sort of turn off the filter just to see what the game looks like, and then like a bestiary of some kind to see sort of what these enemies look like. Again, all very small stuff, nothing that impacts the experience of the game by any means. Just like tweaks or hopeful things for the future or something like that. Because again, as it sits, fantastic. Like I said, I don't have a ton to say because it is. If you've played games over the last 20 years, you've definitely played games like this for sure. But it's definitely a love letter, I think, to the sort of older shooters in that wheelhouse, and they do a remarkable job with making it feel pretty current. Obviously, it's a indie title, so it's not going to be the same caliber as Doom Eternal. But I think if you found the control scheme and stuff in Doom Eternal to be like overly complicated, or that just like mitigating all those systems of armor and health and using the flamethrower to do this and then the chainsaw to do that, all that kind of stuff, like if you found that a little too cumbersome, which I could totally see if you're like a long-running fan of Doom and felt that was like a little too much, then this is going to be like right in the pocket of what you were probably looking for out of that game. So there is that to consider, I suppose. There is also a sprint, which is nice to see, and then you have like a sprint jump that'll give you a longer distance, that kind of deal. Let's see. Yeah, I was gonna say, I was pretty sure there was a big boy in here somewhere. They want me to use the minigun. But yeah, it is so violent though, like just the amount of blood going everywhere and on the weapons and everything. But again, just truly beautiful for what it is, like what it's trying to be. I would say one suggestion I would have is I'd put on some baby metal and play through this, and man, that was a fun experience. Because I mean, I think the music, sound design, everything is great. But it is one of those games where you could kind of take their music out and put your own kind of soundtrack to it and have a real good time with that. Yeah, shotgun especially feels really good. But that's I mean, I think if you're trying to make any kind of thing reminiscent of Doom, the shotgun has to be proper. And again, in the newest Doom, man, it felt phenomenal. And I would guess, let me actually see. Yeah, because I've only found one of the shotguns. I would have to imagine there's a double barrel shotgun in this game. I haven't seen it, but chances are pretty high that there is one. We'll say I do miss the grappling hook on the shotgun from the last game. That was, I mean, what a fun mechanic. Yeah, so as far as I know too, it's like it's completely done in Unreal, and just with this sort of overarching filter on it. But man, it looks good. So I wish I could see the models up close, like, because they look really good, but you're obviously covering them, just like bathing them in blood, more or less. So it's like a little hard to tell sometimes what's going on. Actually don't. Oh yeah, the alternative fire on that one is you can blow up the rockets early. That's right. Kind of really just unnecessarily using the shotgun here, but I mean the rocket launcher there, but that's all right. And that's it. Pretty good though. Pretty good stuff. Yeah, and then like I was saying, I got none of the secrets because I just kind of burned through the level just to kind of show you guys. And then usually too, when you find a secret area, it'll tell you, there'll be a prompt that comes up and it's like secret area found, that kind of deal. I feel like I died twice, but either way, that's fine. Then you have your score. You can continue, and then it gives you the option to rate the map. And then here you can kind of see, you know, where you stand. And I think that's overall, and then this is by specific difficulty. So, which I'm playing the game, I think yeah, medium. And then I will show you one of the sort of challenge run deals, and then I'll take a peek, I guess, at the editor, but I again have not done any of that stuff. so I have no idea what that actually looks like, but as far as I understand, it's pretty in-depth. Yeah, and then they have these, I've seen them, I've done this one and then the rocket launcher one, so it seems like they have quite a few of these set up, but you're basically just running through and hitting these targets, which usually like move platforms or do something to kind of change the shape of the arena, stuff like that, so you kind of get a fun kind of run through a little arena of this stuff. There's that. So yeah, simple, but really fun. And then obviously you can do those as many times as you want. But I think those are really cool. It's a neat addition to just give you kind of, you know, something that propels you forward, so you can kind of get those quicker speedrun things rather than going through the whole levels over and over again. I haven't unlocked this. It's really weird though, because the other one, once I finished it, I got it. But this one, there's something I'm missing. Oh, you know what? Maybe that is the other portal, and that is the rocket trial there. And then this will be the one in the middle, and I can connect all three of them. So I guess I can kind of quickly move between the map with that. That's interesting. And then I'll show you here with the online stuff. You can browse sort of all the map stuff that's been made. This game has been, I think it was a Kickstarter, so people have been making stuff for a while, so there's a lot of those. I haven't tried any of them yet, but there are already a ton of them. There's quite a few of that already. And then you can have campaigns as well, which there's only 2 of those at the moment that haven't been updated in a little bit. But the game did just come out yesterday. And then I will show quickly the... Oh, I didn't mean to log out. I'll look at the level editor. I haven't messed with this at all, but just kind of give you guys an idea. It seems like it's set up this way to where you can kind of like, you know, put a character in. Let's see, asset browser, brushes, campaign, entitlements. Guess we don't have any of that stuff. Prefabs, Windows. Yeah, this is more outside of my wheelhouse, for sure. But it is something to kind of note that you do definitely have the ability to set up and do that. As far as I could tell, you could. It just seemed like you could drag and drop assets in, like enemies, just put them where you want, and then kind of give them a little bit of understanding. I mean, I think as far as it sits, they're going to come after you as soon as they see you. But yeah, so there is that if you want that option, which I think is cool. So that's yeah, that's Proteus. It's like I said, it's available right now. Look at the store page here. Just give you a quick idea, I believe. Yeah, $24.99. But I think as it sits, really, really well put together. Like, super good game. A lot of potential for the future, especially with people being able to put in their own assets, or, you know, using ones people have created and stuff within there, or the devs themselves just giving you, you know, more options of stuff to put in there as well. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. As always, if you have any suggestions, any games you'd like to see me play, anything like that, please leave in the comments below. And I will see you guys in the next one.